sides are to blame. That's why it's better to just have no sides at all.
Listen here, Sailor Moon, this is not the time. You just stay there, you just shh.
So,
Be pretty and be quiet.
during the 10 minutes Hajime left the venue, the killer murdered Hiyoko and created a closed space?
Yeah, that would have been a lot to do in 10 minutes.
And they also taped her up after killing her, right?
That also would have taken a long time in 10 minutes. Shut up, Sailor.
Even quick work has limits.
She is good, but I mean, at this point, shh. The adults are talking, shh. Or the children in this.
Aww, what unimaginable speed for a slowpoke like me.
You know, that's a fair limit for Soda the Place. We've seen how. That's true. That's true.
They couldn't have done it while Hajime was away from the venue.
Cause I think Boss Baby's just a little depressed right now, so anything can like push him over the edge.
Must have done
To
it
the
earlier
Pecco.
than that.
But when
Earlier.
Hajime got to the venue, only Ibuki's body was there, right?
And when you went back with everyone else, Kyoko's body was there too, right?
Wait, couldn't Yoko's body have been there the whole time, but they used, what was that paper thing? Remember how like Gundam saw the little piece of paper hanging that was like on top of the rack? Couldn't they have, you had that paper wrapped around the pole to hide Yoko's body, and then literally once, once Jimmy ran in, saw Ibuki's body and ran out, they just literally ripped out the paper, throw it back into the storage room, and then leave. So they didn't hang, they had already hung Yoko's body by that point, they just hid it underneath the paper. Sailor Moon's heart is often in the right place, but she's too often, yeah, a little almost too sweet.
But it's possible that the body was just revealed at that time, when Hyoko was actually
Exactly.
killed earlier.
So it's like what I'm thinking.
Just revealed?
Of course, the body wasn't revealed on its own. The killer did that too. Here, I have proof.
The paper.
That scrap of paper. Is that what we found in the baton lighting at the music venue?
That's right.
Maybe.
Just what is this scrap anyway?
A scrap that was stuck on the baton lighting in the music venue. Now I should be able to figure out what it is. Oh, no, please, no, oh, not like this. Why, game? What is wallpaper? Wallpaper. I'm guessing wallpaper. Wallpaper. Why do I have an R? I need an L. Unless it's wrapping. Oh, give me my L. Oh, this one. It's fine. It's fine. Just let it happen. Just let it happen. It's fine. I need a. Yes. Oh my God! This one's actually easy for once. Oh my, thank God! It did take me like 2,000 years to figure out that it was wallpaper.
Scrap. Isn't it part of the wallpaper in the storage room?
I would like to solve the puzzle. Exactly.
In the music venue storage room, there should have been black wallpaper that's the same color as that scrap. There was also a tear along the edge of the wallpaper, wasn't there?
You're right. If you overlay the scrap that was caught on the lighting with the tear in the wallpaper, see? It fits perfectly.
That doesn't look very perfect to me. I have to admit that does not look like it fits perfectly.
I see. So the scrap that was caught on the baton lighting was originally part of the wallpaper. And what's wrong with that? Does it have something to do with Hyoko's body disappearing?
A mere nobody like me isn't important enough to answer that. But if you guys were exceptional enough to identify that scrap of paper, you can figure this
I
out
heard
easily.
Cthulhu's OP. Time to play Cthulhu. Wait, Cthulhu like Call of Cthulhu or like Cthulhu and Smite? Scrap of paper stuck to the baton lighting was part of that wallpaper I found in the storage room. It is connected to the sudden disappearance of Yoko's body. Does he have the physical papers with him? I was gonna say, how do you like line that up like that? If I trace it back from there, the answer should become clear. All right, let's give this a try. What are we doing? Oh no. Yes, oh my God, Cthulhu is in Smite? Oh, now I might need to play the video game. I mean, I've been looking for new multiplayer games. I mean, I might try Smite because I'm trying to remember how to how do I jump? I might try Smite, so, oh wait. Oh, no, like this. I forgot how to speed up. I might try Smite because I've been looking for new multiplayer games. Ooh. Aw. Baron wants to play. This is like, again, I don't know why, but this reminds me of the gummy ship. I think it's just the colors. What? Ow. Not like this. I thought that would kill me. I'm waiting for the first question. Question 1. Why did Yoko's body suddenly appear at the crime scene? It was hidden. It was brought there. It was hidden. Well, we've already explained that. You got, oh, thank you. I'm doing my best. I just gotta take my time with it. If I go too fast, that's when I lose it. Yeah, I was gonna say, we've already explained that. That doesn't even need to be told. I do like this, I like this minigame, even though it's weird to me. Being in this game, I do like this minigame. Oh. Okay, next question? Maybe? Next question. What did the killer use to hide her body? The wallpaper, we've gone over this. I feel like this is very repetitive. When I'm playing solo at the moment, just trying to figure out stuff. Oh, you're trying to learn the game again. When I take a hold of the basics, I'll play with people. That sounds about right. So it sounds good, Rebels. That's what I did with Dead by Daylight. Oh my god. Let me just let me just whoop. I don't like this. Hold on, let me see. Oh. Not like this. Whoop. 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 Last question. What did the killer hide the ball? They formed a wall. They covered the pillar. The animation how to make a 3D model does when he hits one of the spikes is hilarious. I know rights to do this minigame is fun. I like this minigame. I was gonna say I like this one. But I might actually try Smite, because again, like I said, I've been looking for new multiplayer games. I might actually try it. Take her time. She says speed up. Listen, I was getting more comfortable with the minigame. These games make you go over everything so many times. I was gonna say, like, everything's been repeated except for the last question.
It's all coming together.
It's coming back to me now. Back in my day.
I got it. Yoko's body was hidden before we found it.
Would have taken quite a long time to tape up a hidden body.
No, the body was already taped up and the killer hid it, along with the pillar using the wallpaper.
Exactly.
What? They hid the pillar?
Yeah, by wrapping the wallpaper around the pillar, the killer was able to create a slightly larger pillar. So when I first discovered Ibuki's body, Yoko's body was already there.
You can see it now too because that one pillar looks bigger.
However,
yeah, and now it's smaller
within a slightly larger pillar. I didn't realize that at the time.
Well, that's understandable. I mean, it makes sense that you'd notice Ibuki's body right away.
So they used the baton lighting on the ceiling to hang the wallpaper?
Yes. Slightly larger pillar, not necessarily wrong, but an interesting way to phrase that. Not sure it's a better way to say it, but it feels weird. It does feel a little weird. I think it's just the best way they could phrase it. Because it's the best way that makes sense. I don't know how else you would, like, again, I don't know how else you would word it that makes sense, at least.
The baton lighting forms a perfect circle around the pillar, so using it to hang the wallpaper totally fits.
Then, the reason the wallpaper was covered in so many stickers was to make it look like that pillar.
Exactly. Like
That's how
hardcore.
they hid Yoko's body, and then peeled off the wallpaper as soon as I left the music video.
But the killer made a mistake. They accidentally ripped off a piece of the wallpaper.
Exactly. They didn't take off cleanly. Kind of got like a season pass. That's nice. That's really
nice.
nice.
Was left on the baton lighting.
The killer must have been in a hurry. If their plan took too long, Hajime could have walked in on them.
Wallpaper scrap is still on the ring right before it's taken down. Interesting. Yeah. You think that would have been a big oopsie.
But going to the trouble of hiding the body and the pillar is very cold.
That was a huge mistake, because imagine if they hadn't missed that. Imagine if they had gotten all the paper. Like, people would have thought that the body was put there after Jimmy left. But just that little scrap is what got them caught. How much was it? I'm just curious.
Crime itself would be much easier to pull off, since they don't have much to do while Hajime's gone. They just have to peel off that wallpaper and stash it in the storage room. It's not that big of a deal.
Like, yeah, not a big deal. Just murder. It's fine.
Then when was Hiyoko actually killed?
I think Yoko was killed before
Good
Ibuki.
point.
Like
And on
20
that
bucks? When I bought that's stupid. Yeah, it might be a little bit more now, but that's pretty
It's
good.
about time we shed some light on those imitation murders.
You mentioned imitation murder more than once. But what is that?
Are you kidding me? You haven't seen my masterpiece? The Wizard of Monami 2.5?
Hey, don't put my likeness in your movies without my permission.
You're pretty noisy for someone who eats mothballs.
Oh,
I don't eat mothballs. I just enjoy looking at them.
so innocent. She's so precious. Don't tell her about the movie. It'll crush her hopes and dreams.
I knew it. There are so many similarities. It must have been intentional.
Kami strike him! How dare you use my likeness? Was it oh my
Ibuki's
goodness.
death by hanging matches the Scarecrow's death from the movie. Not just that, but Hiyoko getting taped up after her death matches the lion's death.
It's as if both crimes were replicas of scenes from the movie, although the mutilated Tin Man was omitted.
Are you sure? Because like what do you call it? Yoko did get her slit or her throat slit, which matches more the Tin Man's than the lion's death, in my
Why did the
opinion.
killer go to all this trouble in the first place?
Based on what we know, the reason the killer chose these imitations isn't that difficult to figure out.
The reason the killer imitated the two victims in that movie, I should be able to explain that to let their accomplice escape, to mix up the killing order to hide the weapon because they like movies. To mix up the killing order.
See,
Exactly.
The reason the killer imitated two of the murders from the movie was so he'd mix up the killing order.
So we think Ibuki died first, but in actuality she died second.
Then
Which is what I've been saying this whole
Hiyoko
time.
was actually killed before Ibuki?
Exactly.
A valid line of reasoning.
Yeah, it's valid. The condition of Ibuki's body suggests that as well.
What do you mean? If you're going to cry and beg like that, then I guess I'll hear about the condition of Ibuki's body.
I guess I'll listen.
I'm
Like I
not
like how he says,
even
I guess I'll
crying.
listen.
I'll let you sob as much as you want later. Just hurry up and tell me before I change
Why are you so
my mind.
aggressive, Gundam?
What a jerk!
Oh, I see. You want me to explain it to you, right? Because you don't understand what I'm saying, right?
An even bigger jerk? Impossible!
Wait, are they having a bickering match right now?
Ibuki died because she hanged herself, right? That means when she was still alive, her feet were touching the floor.
She's gonna bring up the blood on the slippers. I mean, it's Gundam. I mean, he's kind of a little hot-headed at times.
What's wrong with that?
But it seems Ibuki was still standing when Hiyoko was killed.
Be aggressive.
That would mean Hiyoko was killed before Ibuki.
How light. Your words are so light as the sylph's feather.
I mean, you guys were right. It is Gundam.
Your opponent is out of your league. It is too absurd to try to perplex me so inadequately.
Man, he's being annoying again.
He's being annoying.
First and foremost, you claim Ibuki's feet were touching the floor when Hiyoko was killed.
He always talks like that. Lives in his own world. He says a little hot-headed. I think I think it's kind of a front, kind of like what Boss Baby did. He tries to act tough, but I know deep down look, he has 4 hammies.
How can a low-class creature with no psychic abilities like you know something like that?
Because she was doing something that's only possible if her feet were on the floor.
Look at the face. I like that face. Angie face. I'm sure there's a sad backstory why he acts like that, like he has no friends or something. I forgot. Well, I got all his backstory, but he never really talked about that. I know he talked about that he enjoys being around animals more than humans because humans hurt him. Humans tend to lie and hurt you, whereas animals don't. So maybe that's why? He just never got that human interaction, so he never got to build those social skills? That might be why.
It seems you suffer from a pathetic delusion.
You're one to talk.
Anyways, if this continues, we're just gonna talk in circles. I think it's best if we clarify Ibuki's status when Yoko was killed. Maybe, yeah, maybe. I think he maybe just doesn't trust humans. Bloodstain on the souls. I'm pretty sure it's a bloodstains on the souls. That's pretty obvious. That's pretty obvious to me.
When Hiyoko died, Ibuki's feet were on the floor.
That's I don't want to contradict.
You to present your evidence.
Did you see her walking?
Did you see her? Yes, I watched her walk across the floor.
On the floor.
She was sleepwalking.
Was there any sign she stepped on something?
Wait, yes, right? There we go.
I agree with that.
I agree. Why is it consent? Why is it not agree? Not consent.
Just as Sonia said, Ibuki stepped on something. That something was blood. There were faint bloodstains on the soles of her slippers.
That is not Ibuki's blood, right? She suffered no external injuries.
Then it's Hiyoko's blood.
Hyoko's only wound was a fatal slice on her neck. And she died almost instantly, right?
If Ibuki stepped on her blood...
It means Ibuki was still standing when Hiyoko was mortally wounded.
There was also the one where he tried to avoid certain classes by hanging out with a nurse who was a member of his tribe. However, they did translated from Gundam to regular. Oh, that's right. Because it was like the only one that he could like trust was a person from his tribe, because she consents to a little bit. No, not like that, goats. Not that kind of consent.
Which means Ibuki was still alive at the exact moment Hiyoko was killed.
Don't underestimate the power of the
Oh
evil
my
eye.
God, Gundam, no. Gundam, please.
Is that it? A shepherd dressed in his Sunday's finest.
He's really aggressive about this.
Still reeks of lamb, Hajime Hinata.
I don't think it's him, but he's being very he's being a sort of like more active in the debate than he usually is.
Does that mean you have a rebuttal?
Does that mean you have a rebuttal? That's a good line. But are you sure you're sure? If I show you how serious I am, this world might be destroyed, you know. You're so frightened you can't even make a sound. It seems you realize
Jimmy's in
our
disbelief.
difference in status. However, the time for conviction starts now. You better entertain me to the fullest.
Really? What's my bullets? Rope used to hang, motel key, scrap thick papers, smudge on the floor. So I think the smudge on the floor, right?
The blood on Ibuki's feet belonged to Hiyoko? Ha! Impossible!
Yeah. Oh my God, it takes a lot of hits.
There was no... You can't step on blood that was never there.
Yeah, damn it.
Just about 1 minute.
I didn't realize it was gonna go that fast. My thing is gone. Despite his exaggerated process, I feel like I saw it.
You're saying the blood on Ibuki's feet. Ha! Impossible! Try to remember the crime scene. There was no blood on the floor.
Yes, there was. Get out of here.
Those were.
It was the tiniest yellow text. All it was the word blood.
The reason there was no blood on the floor is because the killer wiped it away afterward.
I was just so tiny, I didn't even see it at first. I was like, oh, not like this. A shepherd dressed in his Sunday finest still reeks of lamb. That's also good, pretty good line. I might ask, how is that a good line? Also, did he speak normally for that line? I don't know. You never know anymore.
Don't say such foolish things. You don't have proof of that at all.
I wonder if there's some lines in this that when the voice actors did it, it was hard for them to keep a straight face.
Yes, I do. Look closely. There's a streak on the floor where blood was wiped away.
When the killer tried to hide Hyoko's body, they probably cleaned the blood at the same time, but... Ibuki must have already stepped in it, and the killer probably didn't even realize it.
The reason they wiped off the blood on the floor was so we'd mix up the order of the murders, right? Even if they're able to hide Hyoko's body, it'd be bad if her blood was left out in the open.
Yeah, because then we wonder where the blood came from, because Ibuki didn't leave any blood.
Ibuki's body was left out in the open, and it wasn't bleeding from any open wounds at all.
Hyoko's body was probably wrapped in duct tape to stop her bleeding. Actually, the bleeding will stop once the heart stops beating. So I don't think they had to go that far.
Gun VA streamed. Oh yeah, you were telling me about that, Neo, because that's how you got the 4 Divas of Destruction emotes. Main games. He did a playthrough of the main games in the series. Yeah, you were telling me about that the last stream. Damn, notice that they all notice they are all 2D, which means this game isn't real, guys. I'm sorry for Bermuda. Goats, why? Ghost, the illusion is gone. How could you? I thought this was real life, man.
Aside from Mikon, none of us were aware of that fact, so the killer probably did not know it either.
Maybe the heater was running inside the music venue so it would screw with Mikon's autopsy?
Exactly. Well, we already know that.
That's right! I didn't know the time of death because of the heater!
The time of death wasn't mentioned in the Monokuma file just to keep concrete evidence from us.
Yup. Since we have all this evidence, there's no one else who wants to object, right? Then it's decided. Hyoko was killed before Ibuki.
Exactly.
It appears that it is wiser to retreat for now. Fine then. But regardless of good or evil, there's no deceit in upholding one's convictions.
I mean, he's got a point. There's no harm in, like, believing what you
Can't you
believe.
just shut up and back off?
Just shut up and back up. Listen here, Soda. Don't you talk to my man like that.
Now then, let us resume our debate.
Oh, it's like, thanks, brain. I'm glad you woke up after 5 hours. I mean, my brain's still waking up again. Like I said, I didn't get much sleep last night.
Wait a sec. There's something I want to run by Monokuma first.
Huh? Again? Didn't something like this happen last time too?
Hey, if the victim actually committed suicide, what are we supposed to do?
Oh, that's true. Like, does that actually count as a, like, especially if Ibuki killed Yoko and the killer killed themselves, what does that mean? Huh?
The
Suicide?
same as always. You have to vote for who the killer is.
Is it Ibuki? Did Ibuki do it?
Think about it. A suicide means you've killed the most important existence of all, yourself. Unfortunately, that means there's no Blacken to punish, but I guess in a pinch, I can always punish Monami.
No, you leave Sailor Moon out of this. Why me?
Nagito,
Why?
what do you mean? If the victim actually committed suicide?
Well, I mean, I understand Hyoko's death, but I'm wondering if Ibuki was really murdered.
Yeah, because if Ibuki murdered Yoko, she could easily have taken herself out. And then, like, do we still hold her responsible? Or it's like, what is that? So, yeah, it's the same as Sakura. It'd be the same as Sakura Suda. There's only one culprit. Sakura, vote for... No! Don't you call her ogre. How dare you, Coach? I will fight you.
For example, it's possible Ibuki killed Hyoko, and then committed suicide due to a guilty conscience,
Sakura
right?
is best girl. How could you say such a thing? She was the MVP. She is the true hero of this series. Ogre, how dare you?
It's totally impossible. Then she never would have killed her to begin with.
I wanted to strangle Hero when he kept saying that. Every time Hero kept calling her over, I'm like, Hero, I swear to God, I'm gonna take you outside. That is it. I'm calling Twitch.
She was afflicted by the despair disease, remember? That means anything can happen.
That's true.
But if Ibuki's the killer, she wouldn't have been able to falsify the sequence of the murders, right?
Oh, that's true, because she wouldn't have been able to take down the wallpaper that was around Yoko. Hides from Twitch, please, successfully. The ogre nickname was based on her last name, but yeah, it's a bit of the, yeah, just a little bit.
After Hajime saw the hanged body, the sudden appearance of Hyoko's body soon after means the killer had to be alive at that time.
That's true, because the, Ibuki's not gonna be able to cover up the crime because she's already dead. What was her last name? I forget her
And
last name.
she was alive. When Hajime first discovered Ibuki, she was just pretending to be dead.
It's very hard to pretend that you killed yourself, though. That's really that's a really hard stretch there,
If she
Nachito.
waited until Hajime left. That's when she could have made her move and mess with the crime scene.
I don't like that. Oh God. Oh, that's right.
She hanged herself. Remember? There's no fucking way she could have faked that.
Exactly. How do you fake that? You don't just like be like, I'm just here.
And if she was going to fake her death, I think she wouldn't have chosen hanging.
Exactly. Well, that doesn't rhyme with ogre. No, it's close. Really, goats, really.
Her body would have been defenseless in that state. If anyone touched her, that alone would have ruined her plan.
I see. So that means there's no doubt that someone killed those two. I'm glad. Now I'm free to search for the killer.
Now I'm free.
What the heck?
There's still one more issue on my mind. If Ibuki
Poor Mika looks
did
terrified.
commit suicide, then just what was that video Hajime saw?
I feel the ogre is so spread. Listen, you leave poor Sakura alone. Sakura still hurts when I think about it. Huh?
According to that video you saw, Ibuki was by herself when she climbed the stepladder, right? And
Yes.
does that mean someone forced her to do it?
Yes, that's what it means.
Forced? Perhaps they used hypnotism or something?
No, it's a despair disease.
I don't know anything about that.
Don't say it all proud.
Putting that aside, it seems obvious that the killer did.
Look at Sailor Moon in the back! Sailor Moon, calm down. There's no need to panic. It's not like anybody's dying. Oh, I mean, wait.
So, maybe we should figure out who was able to do whatever that was.
So, an alibi. Then our plan is to destroy the weakest alibi.
Ooh, that's an interesting take to destroy the weakest alibi. I wish there was a hope to see. That sounds like it would just heal. Like it would, if anything, it wouldn't be really a disease. It would be like a cure. Yeah, that's pretty neat. That is pretty cool. My question is, how does Sailor Moon keep her arms out of the rope, then somehow puts her arm? It's magic. It's magic. Maybe she just likes it, goats. Maybe she likes being tied. Oh my god, I see Sailor Moon in a whole new light now. She's not as innocent as we thought.
Since Hajime has seen the video, it is clear what time the crime took place.
But just to be sure, that surveillance camera doesn't have a record function, right?
Yes, we know that.
It's a cheap-ass surveillance camera, you know? There's no way it'd have some kind of sweet recording feature.
Then, the video Hajime saw was actually right?
What time did Hajime see that video?
I saw it at the hospital, right before Monokuma's morning announcement.
I think she just likes to say, wee, just goes back and forth, and I really do.
I saw the body at the music video a little after Monokuma's announcement.
So Ibuki hanged herself right before Monokuma's announcement. And since we established that Hiyoko was killed before Ibuki, that means the time that the murders occurred was before and during the announcement.
By her adopted brother, she's got some interesting kinks, I suppose. What are you doing, stuff, bro? Oh, no. I was like, why? Not like this. The character's just ruined forever now.
Then we just have to find the person who doesn't have an alibi during that time?
Now then, I shall issue my decree. Let Operation Destroy the Weakest Alibi commence.
I mean, doesn't she have a pretty weak alibi, though? Princess, nevermind. Argument? Make your argument. Let's see what I got. Mika's account, surveillance monitors. Oh, I got a lot of accounts. Ooh.
We can exclude the sick people like me and Akane, right?
And what about the others?
Right before the morning announcement, I was totally sleeping in my motel room.
I think everyone at the motel was doing that.
So everyone who stayed at the motel doesn't have an alibi.
What about you guys?
I was where I was supposed to be, my own cottage.
That's not an alibi.
Aside from those afflicted by the disease, if nobody has an alibi, then Operation Destroy the Weakest Alibi has failed.
Ooh, the only thing I can think of is agreeing with Boss Baby, right? It's just the agreeing with Boss Baby is the only thing I can say. Murder supposedly happened before and during the morning announcement. The person who doesn't have an alibi for that time, I'm trying to think.
Exclude the sick people like me and Akane, right?
Wait, Mika
And what
doesn't.
about the others?
Wait, Mika
Right
doesn't have an
before the
alibi.
morning announcement,
Even though she was sleeping in the
I was
bed.
totally sleeping in my motel room.
I think everyone at the motel was doing that.
So everyone who stayed at the motel doesn't have an alibi.
What about you guys?
I was where I was supposed to be, my own cottage.
That's not an alibi.
I mean, it's true.
Aside from those afflicted by the disease, if nobody has an alibi, then
Yeah.
No, that's wrong.
It's Mika. I was like, Mika's the only one that doesn't have an alibi. Because she was out and about.
Not all of us are missing an alibi.
Well, because again, Mika showed up at his cottage, I thought. And then what was she doing between the point from the hospital to the cottage? And why would she go to the cottage? Like, again, she said to wake him up, but that seems really suspicious to me. Being in a cottage is not an alibi, though.
In fact, Mikan and I both have alibis.
I don't know about that.
you two have alibis?
Is he really? Is it a strong enough alibi,
Up
though?
until I saw that hanging video, Mikan and I were actually together for a while.
Will we even woke up together that morning.
What?
Hey, what kind of situation is that?
Shut up, Soda.
I accidentally fell asleep on top of Hachime.
Mika, be quiet. Look at you.
Too much info.
Just a little bit. Listen, Stuffy, don't bring up Jimmy and Miko's baby. I didn't bring it up.
Yeah, it's not like that. She just came to tell me Nagato's condition had improved.
And we went to the hospital together afterward. So we were together until right before the announcement.
I get it. You guys have alibis.
I don't know if it says there's an alibi. Because what was she doing between the hospital and getting Jimmy? Because also then once we got back to the hospital, I told her to go rest up in the room. And when she went to go rest up in the room, that's when the video started. So she could have been doing it while I was in the lobby while she was resting in the room.
If that's the case, the killer must be someone else.
I don't know. It still could be Mika. I get it. You guys are paying. It's like, I get it. You're in a relationship. Now get a room.
It's better if we think about it like that. The killer decided to falsify the murder sequence to hide the actual time of the crime anyway.
So it's inevitable that an alibi for both before and during the morning announcement would be very important.
Chai is not like that. I swear. I don't know. She seems kind of jealous. So, Sogi, what happened to Jimmy's cottage stays? What happens to Jimmy's cottage stays in Jimmy's cottage?
It feels like Operation Destroy the Weakest Alibi has backed us into a corner instead.
What happens in the cottage stays in the cottage.
But
But
committing an imitation murder, is that really all it was?
Oh my god, she has drumsticks. I just realized Ibuki has drumsticks as her ex.
Faking the time the crime occurred by falsifying the murder sequence.
At least it looks like it.
Hiding their alibi in the process. Was that the only reason the killer made both bodies imitate the movie?
Are you saying there was another reason?
I feel really bad for confusing you guys so much, but that's how I feel.
So he's thinking that there's more to the movie than we've already found out.
I think the killer had a completely different reason for falsifying the murder sequence.
No, different reason. If that's the case, are we still in the killer's trap? Is that a trap set by one of us? If so, then what kind of trap is it? This is the intermission. Don't just leave me, like, get me back in this video game. I ain't got time for you, Monokuma and Sailor Moon. Why, hello there. Sailor Moon, the mothballs sure look tasty today. Stop it, don't characterize me as someone who lives off of mothballs. And here's some chance time. What's that? Now then, Sailor Moon, appeal time starts now. Huh? Appeal time? Your kind of big brother is gonna give you the chance to reclaim your honor. Good luck, show those jerks who treat you like a redheaded stepchild who's boss. You got it, Sailor Moon, that's 99% your fault. While you were whining, your time's already running out, so please make your appeal simple. About 30,000 words or so. That's too long. This would just be a boring appeal. Come on, if your appeal is successful, there might be a merchandise opportunities heading your way. Then I'm Sailor Moon, magical miracle girl. I'm the itty bitty girl who's sweet like milk. Look at Monokuma. Jeez, and I thought Assorted Robot's little sister was supposed to be the best.
What a disappointment.
Who are you talking about? I have no clue whatsoever. The comedy relief, both of them.